All right, folks, we're back on the Bossman show with an OBC legend, a brother of mine, Jonathan Mattox, Morehead State Eagle. He's the head coach now, doing his thing. Hey, good to see you again, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on. Definitely excited to be back at Morehead, and thanks for having me today. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir, man. Let me ask you, man. You was sitting there for a long time. I went to Morehead for a couple of years. Now you're back, man. So it's all full circle for you, bro. You was start off as an interim assistant. Now you're the head man. So talk about your journey, man, from that to where you are today, my brother.
Yeah, it all came full circle, like you said, and probably didn't go the way I planned it to go, but it certainly I couldn't orchestrate myself. Got to give a lot of credit to the man above. I was here at Morehead. I originally came to Morehead in 2013 as a graduate assistant. So I was a graduate assistant for 2 years, moved up to director of basketball operations, and then interim assistant, like you said, and then got to be a full-time assistant. My last year here, I served as associate head coach. Then I went to Murray for 2 years. There was a good opportunity there with Murray State going to the Missouri Valley Conference. So I spent 2 years there with Coach Prome, and very fortunate enough to be back here as the head coach at Morehead State.
And how's it been to be embraced by the people who loved you for years, known you for years, man? How's it feel, had that embracing of them and with support, having known the community is behind you already?
Yeah, that was a huge part of it. That was a huge part of it, and obviously I learned a lot from Preston. He was great to me, really mentored me and molded me to become a head coach. So when he left, I definitely wanted to make a push to get this job, and had a lot of people behind me, like you said, people on campus, people in athletic department, people in the community, all the above. So that was certainly a huge part of it, and they made me feel more than welcome to be back, me and my family.
And John, let me ask you this, man, for you, how did you kind of prepare for this opportunity to become a head coach? You know, when your sister, you got to be loyal to your guy and your head coach. But how do you prepare in your mind to get ready for this opportunity that you're in right now, so it's not overwhelming once you get in that seat a few inches over?
Yeah, I think several different ways. I think as an assistant, you should always be learning. Hey, man, this is what we're doing in our program. This is what the head coach wants. But hey, this is what I want to keep and what I want to implement one day. This is, maybe this is stuff I don't want to do one day. So I think you're always just learning and sorting and sifting through information. Hey, I like these, 4, 5, 6 core things. I don't like these 4, 5, 6 core things. This is what I'll change when I become a head coach. But the biggest thing is staying process oriented. I think as an assistant, and I would talk to Jonas Hayes, I got to give him a lot of credit, Amir Abdur-Rahim a lot of credit. They would always talk to me about carrying yourself like a head coach while you're an assistant. What does that mean? What does that look like? Dressing like a head coach, walking like a head coach, talking like a head coach, coming to your staff meeting with your own thoughts as if you were a head coach, coming prepared. So, I think you always want to carry yourself as a head coach, even when you're an assistant.
100%. And for you, man, as you build this program out, what's the plus of your program? You have to have a young man to have to be a part of this Morehead State program. I know you big on development. I know you're big on playing the right way. But what a young man must have a challenge for wise and character wise to be a part of your program.
Yeah, we talk about several different things. I've come up with this philosophy, pound the rock, which is a process oriented approach. So I want guys who are process oriented guys who aren't attached to outcome, who are wanting to do the work every day. It's a poem by Jacob Riis that says, "When nothing seems to help, I go and look at the stone cutter, hammering away at his rock, perhaps as many as 100 times without a single crack. Then on the 101st blow, it splits in two, and I know it wasn't that blow that did it, but all those that came before." And that's a message I relay to our guys from day one. We're constantly talking about pounding the rock daily, getting a little bit better every day, and not just every day, in every aspect of your day. In the weight room, on the practice court, in the film room, in the classroom, in the community, in your personal lives, all those things. And then we talk a lot about our core values here, which are discipline, doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, how you're supposed to do it, toughness, what breaks you, mental toughness, like what breaks you, how can you withstand hard, how can you withstand adversity, cohesion, being a cohesive unit, sticking together, having close-knit bonds, and then gratitude, being thankful in all circumstances. So those are things we certainly look for in players we're recruiting, we talk about in recruiting conversations. And then once they get here, we really hammer home all those points I just made.
And Jonathan, for you, man, with this new recruiting, man, with portal, I call it speed dating. So how do you kind of go about the vetting process to make sure these young men have these core values that let's discuss? Because it's hard to bet somebody in a week or two, or on one visit. So how do you go about that vetting a young man as you try to get them on campus and get them to commit to you guys in this whole new environment we're in now?
Yeah, no, that's a great question and a great point you just made, because it is speed dating. That's probably the best way to describe it. Old school recruitments, when you're recruiting high school kids, especially, and even when you're recruiting junior college kids, you know, old school way, you get in with them early, you develop deep relationships, you watch them in the spring, you watch them in the summer, they visit in the fall. It's a month-long, sometimes years-long process. And then with the portal, it is, man, you better make a decision on a young man quick, because once he enters that portal, he may be committed to a school in 4 or 5 days or a week or 10 days. So it's a super quick process. How do you go about the vetting? Is you got to be organized, and you want to talk to as many people as you can to get as much information on that young man as possible. You know, his previous college coach and his college staff. You know, we always make sure we reach out to the previous college coaches. Hey, what was the deal? Was he playing? Was he not playing? Why? All those things. And then you reach out to the people around him, his parents, his AAU or travel coaches, any previous coaches he had, and you try to get as much decision on that young man as you can. And then you have to make a quick decision. Once you get all the information, you got to go with your gut, whether that's yay or nay. You got to make a quick decision. If it's a yay, let's get them to campus as quick as possible, have a good visit, and try to get them done.
And this summer for you, as you guys started working out here, is it more going to be team-oriented stuff or more development? I know what you're trying to, all these guys bringing these guys together, trying to want to get some concepts in there. So how are you going to kind of find the fine line between development versus putting in team stuff this summer during the workouts?
Yep, a little bit of both. Right now, we just started on Monday. So we went Monday, Tuesday, took off Wednesday, went Thursday. All of that was individual development stuff, skill work, added in some concepts, some conditioning as well, trying to work some guys back into shape, even though it's the summertime, just trying to get them in good baseline shape. Today, we'll do a little bit more team stuff today and let them play. So the rest of the summer, it'll be a combination of both. We certainly want to get guys better individually, better shooters, better passers, better handlers. Pick and roll reads are obviously really important nowadays in the game of basketball. But we also, like you said, have to build in some teamwork, some team concepts, get some continuity, get some cohesion to become the best team we can be.
And now for you with the scheduling piece of it, I know that's another hard part of your job, the scheduling, man. And, with Preston leaving, them Morehead being good, for many years. Has it been different this year for scheduling games non-conference wise? More people more want to play you, or it's more the same, but they don't want to play Morehead State?
And there definitely is a respect factor with Morehead State, with the job Preston Spradlin did. That definitely is a thing. I think it may be probably slightly easier for me right now being a first-year head coach. People don't think I know what I'm doing, so that may be a part of it. But we're piecing that schedule together piece by piece. We're close on a few games, so it's almost done. So
no doubt, man. And for you, man, for you, how cool has it been to be in this seat now for you? Now you were making suggestions, now you're making decisions. So how has that been for you going from suggestion maker to decision maker, man?
Yep, yeah, certainly an adjustment. As every head coach goes through, it's certainly an adjustment. And these decisions are all big decisions because they impact you, they impact your assistants, they impact our players, they impact a lot of people's lives. So I think I try to make decisions with a clear mind. And certainly there's some quick decisions you have to make, but I want to make them with as clear of a mind and as much information like you asked about with the portal as possible. And then once you make that decision, man, that's the decision. Everybody's got to be on the same page, and we got to go out and execute whatever that decision is.
No doubt. That's one for you, man. Is this, man, for you, man? How has it been for your kids, man, to come back to a place they're so familiar with, man? And you and your wife, man, how have they been about this move? I know when coaching, when you all take jobs and move around, the family takes a lot of it too. Because sometimes you're away, you're not with them. How cool is it for your family to come to a place that they knew already, and having them support of your wife and your children behind you as you take on this new journey, man?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. My wife's certainly excited to be back. She worked on campus. She worked in the community, so she got a lot of good relationships here. My kids are younger, so they're still trying to figure it out. But the good thing about them is they got a lot of people that know them and love them, even though they may not all remember the whole thing. They got a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of people that love them, know them, and support them. So that's certainly, a big part of it. Going back to one of your first questions is just being embraced. I mean, my daughter, she was at my press conference. I don't know who she was with. She didn't know who she was with, but she left mama, she ran around, she was hugging on different people. And that's certainly a good feeling.
No doubt. Well, Jonathan, man, thank you. I'm glad you got this job, man. I remember seeing you as a young coach at OCC tournament at the Minnesota Auditorium when it was back there. So that's when I first met you, man, 13. You might not remember that, but it was 13. So we, so like it's good to see you full circle, seeing you work your way up, man, the way you are today, man. I'm happy for you and I'm proud of you, brother. It's good to see you at Murray as well, and for graduation as well. So, but man, I'm happy for anything I can do for you, brother. I'm here to help you out, man.
My man, I appreciate you having me on today.
Anytime, bro.
All right.